Hi, welcome to the Fall on Campus, a look into student life at the University of Vermont during COVID-19. My name is Sophie Meyer. I'm the president of the Student Alumni Association. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a senior majoring in environmental studies and psychological science. And I'm also involved in Delta Delta sorority. The Student Alumni Association has a vision and mission to foster a connection between students, past and present, and future. We are all students that build the bridge between alumni and the current student body. As of last year, all students are members of the Student Alumni Association, just as all alumni are members of the Alumni Association. Welcome to Alumni Weekend. I'm sure this is nothing of what anybody expected, but we're still excited to take this opportunity to connect and share our experiences and give you an idea of what life is like on campus. We'll be answering a few alumni submitted questions. Each student on this panel is representative of different areas on campus, different experiences, different living situations. So we'll go around and introduce ourselves. Katie, would you like to start?
Sorry, I was on mute. Hi, I'm Katie Amendola. I'm a senior here at UVM. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm majoring in economics and minoring in German and art. On campus, I'm involved in the Student Alumni Association. This year, I'm the vice president. I'm also involved in the Food Recovery Network at UVM, where in a normal year, we'll talk about this later, but we'll go into the Chittenden County Food Shelf and cook brunch on Sundays for Burlington's food insecure population. I'm also a supplemental instructor for the economics department. This year, I'm the SI for Economics 40, which is Economics of Globalization.
Hi, everybody. My name is Em Bauer. I use they, them pronouns. I am a junior and I'm studying community and international development with a minor in food systems. Outside of classes, I am a tour guide, so I work for UVM Admissions. I also am a flute and piccolo player at the UVM Pep Band, and I was just appointed to be a senator for the Student Government Association.
Hey everyone, I'm Masika. I use she, her pronouns. I'm currently a senior studying social work and minor in Chinese. And outside of classes, I am an RA on campus, and I'm also interning at Spectrum After School Program.
Hi everyone, I'm Max Seckler. I'm a senior this year. I have used he, him pronouns. I'm a finance and marketing major with an English minor. I am the VP of IFC recruitment. I'm in the Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity, and I'm on the men's club rugby team.
Hi everyone, my name is Lexi Sutak and I use she, her pronouns. I'm a senior this year and I'm a political science major with a minor in gender sexuality and women's studies. I'm a representative of the Student Equity Action Committee for the Honors College, and then additionally, I'm on the women's cross-country indoor and outdoor track and field teams, and also co-president of the Student Athlete Advisory Council.
How's it going? I'm Clay Weiss. He, him pronouns. I'm a freshman here. I'm undeclared, still don't know what I want to study yet. And outside of classes, I'm on the men's lacrosse team. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Hi everyone, my name is Tucker Simonson. I go with he, him pronouns. I'm a sophomore, majoring in business. I'm involved in the Student Alumni Association as a recruitment chair, the Wildlife Society, and the Finance Club.
Awesome, I think that was everyone, right? So before we all got to campus, we had to sign what was called the Green and Gold Promise, just to get ready for a different looking semester, which we'll be talking about in the next few minutes. What the Green and Gold Promise is, it's basically a promise to take care and take responsible for our own health, our health of all the other UVM students, and then the health of the state of Vermont. And in addition to signing this Green and Gold Promise, we also had to take a day 0 COVID test. And then every week we also take COVID tests in addition to reporting symptoms daily. And we do all of the scheduling and symptom reporting through an app called Co-Verified. So it's super easy to use and convenient, and the tests take a matter of minutes in the Davis Center. And honestly, in my opinion, UVM is doing a great job, and it's really not a big strain on my life to go and get tests every week. And it's awesome knowing that we're doing it for the greater good of the UVM community and the state of Vermont. In terms of the types of classes that UVM has this semester, there are in-person classes, online classes, and hybrid classes, which are a mix of both in-person and online. And each professor has kind of approached the hybrid classes differently, I believe. So if we wanted to talk about the classes that we're taking this semester, Amma, if you wanted to talk about your schedule and what that looks like.
Yeah, so definitely. I'm taking social work classes in Chinese, and most of my classes are all online, so it's remote. And then as a social worker, it feels so weird because mostly all our classes are in person, and then we hold pride in like being in class and seeing each other and like talking in class and making connections. So it feels so weird having to take classes online.
My classes are almost entirely in person this fall, surprisingly. I've been really lucky to have nice teachers that have tried to make every accommodation possible to get everyone in person. Any classes that my teachers haven't had a full room, I've been able to just step in for. I have one entirely online class that meets twice a week and one online class that meets once a week, but it's been super nice just to get back in school and have some level of normalcy again.
Is anyone taking any hybrid classes?
So I'm taking a hybrid class. My environmental education class meets once a week outside and then once a week on Teams. So it's kind of fun to see your classmates in person. Whenever we have class, we go to different areas in the Burlington community. So either the woods or the Intervale, or the other day was at Oak Ledge. And it's kind of fun to get outside. It's a little bit of a field trip, which I like. We'll see how that goes when it gets a little bit colder, but we're staying positive. But then it's cool to also like be able to like be in a more lecture setting on Teams and having little discussions on there as well. So I think one big question that a lot of the alumni have had is how are we finding fun and safe ways that allow us to keep spending time with our friends? Because obviously we all have great friends at college and that's part of the experience. And naturally, like COVID has thrown a little bit of a hiccup in that. But how is that experience going?
I've been finding that my friends and I are going on more outdoor adventures. And by friends, I mean like I live with 6 people total. So it's kind of like our family unit in terms of social distancing. And we're going on a lot of hiking trips, which we never did before COVID. And like getting outside away from people. Vermont is an amazing place to socially distance. So yeah.
Yeah, through my involvement with my sorority, we've found to do like new outdoor things. So the other day we had socially distanced masked yoga on the waterfront, which was really gorgeous, but also fun to like get outside. And I mean, I think what's really interesting about the situation is that it does force people to kind of consider new ways to like connect with each other and still enjoy your company, even at a distance, either virtually or physically.
Another question that alumni had for us were, how are we still staying active despite being socially distanced and keeping everyone safe?
Similarly to you, Katie, I live with 5 of my teammates, and so the 6 of us have been doing a lot of hiking, getting outside more than we have previously. But what we've tried to take advantage of is the bike path, because we've never really had a reason to be on the bike path, especially because we run on it so often. So all of us have been trying to like pick up a new skill. So a couple of us started rollerblading, and like a few people invested in longboards, or we all have bikes. So we've been trying to like make use of that and try to like keep ourselves getting out just to like go do something in the day, or like go play pickup basketball, just like stuff that's kind of goofy we might not have done before, just to get outside.
That's awesome.
Yes, similarly to that. Similarly to that, I also have been taking advantage of the bike path a lot. I haven't really biked around Burlington as much as I have like this summer and this fall. And so that's been super fun for me. For example, there's this one event that I did this summer. VSECU sponsors a bike ride every year called the Point to Point, and it raises money for the Vermont Food Bank. And so I participated in that virtually. So I was able to do my own bike ride for that.
For me, I live in the dorms, and so my roommate is also a freshman on the lacrosse team, and we've got two other kids in the building who are freshmen on the lacrosse team, and we all bought memberships to the Y, which is like just off campus, and we've all been kind of going there together, staying in like our little pod, and we've been lifting together, playing basketball and stuff, just fun stuff like that. Stay active, and it's been good.
Yeah, kind of similar to what Clay said. I did not purchase a Y membership, unfortunately, so access to the gym has been a little bit harder for me. So I've just been trying to get outside and be active as much as possible. And I've been doing that through fishing, hiking, and just dragging a kayak in places is a good enough workout right now. So I'm trying to be outside as much as possible and just stay active, have fun.
I will personally say that I am not the most confident skier at all. But I think this winter I'm gonna buy a pass and hopefully fix my boots and give it a go. Just so that in the winter I can get outside more and kind of break up my days and stay active, even when it's a Vermont winter. So then another like big question has been, will there be traditional campus traditions like Fall Fest? So from a student organization standpoint, a lot of the events are being encouraged to be fully virtual or hybrid, and if they are in person, offering students who are taking in like online classes at home, like still have access to these different events. So I know that the Brennan's in the Davis Center has trivia night still, which anybody can log on to like wherever they are. And also on that note, yeah, just kind of allowing access to these events wherever students are. A lot of things are virtual, but it's nice still like going on campus and seeing a table for a club. We'll see how the year progresses though. We're still staying hopeful that we can have some in-person events, like senior week, which is a lot of us are seniors, so we'll be hopefully able to do that.
And in terms of athletics, I know Clay and Lexi, you're both on different teams for UVM. If you guys wanted to talk about how practices are going this semester, maybe Max, I don't know if rugby or how club sports are going, but maybe you can touch on that too.
I know for us, running is a pretty interesting sport in the sense that we're not a contact sport, but we are still, like interacting with each other. So teams right now are broken up into pods, and we're in phase 1. And so in phase 1, you can only run or practice with your pod at like your scheduled time, and each pod is a different time during the day. And then in phase 2, we'll start combining pods. And so you'll get like a few more people than you were with before. And then for phase 3, hopefully we'll be back as a team. And while we have no competition scheduled for cross country as of right now, hopefully our team will be able to have a few like time trial races against each other and still get in like a couple of hard efforts for the year. And then we'll see for winter and outdoor. We're not quite there yet.
For us, it's pretty similar. We're in a bunch of pods, and you can only do workouts with the people in your pod and stuff. So we're doing workouts like a couple of days a week, and we haven't done any like team stuff yet with like gear or sticks or anything. We've all just been kind of doing conditioning, like strength work in the weight room or in the turf, like inside and stuff like that. And right now that's phase one. And then once we go to phase two, again, kind of like Lexi said, we start combining pods and then putting the gear on and like having more contact drills and stuff like that, and like trying to get back to like full practices. So when we come back in the winter, we can play. I think that'll be like normal. So we'll see how it goes.
So as a club sport with rugby, we actually had to, because of the student organization, we had to basically submit a basically weekly trial for how we plan to progress with our season. So we actually just got cleared for would be our phase one, so conditioning and just basic ball handling. Because rugby is considered a collision sport, according to UVM, we probably will not be able to play like a real season this year, and we're hoping for like the farthest, at least farthest down the line, like our last phase, we're hoping to integrate like an intramural into UVM's intramural things. So we got high hopes, but we're trying to make the most of it.
I'm on mute. For those of you living on campus, what is that experience like, and what maybe like rules are in place? I mean, I'm off campus, but I'm just so curious what it's like on there.
For me as a freshman, I've never lived in a dorm before, so I don't really have much to compare it to. But I mean, it's pretty simple. Like unless you're in the, like your own dorm, you have to wear a mask everywhere, and you can get fined if you get seen without a mask. So that's kind of a bummer. But we get that it's for like safety and all that. We all want to be here, so everyone's pretty disciplined about that. But yeah, I mean, it's besides that, I'd say it's pretty normal to what I'd imagine dorm life to be. So that's cool.
Compared to living in the dorms last year, I think it's a little bit more difficult to socialize. It definitely encourages people to get outside, since you're not allowed to have anyone else in your dorm room besides your roommate if you have one. You have to wear a mask everywhere, like Clay said. But overall, it's still fun. It's still nice to live on campus. It definitely has its challenges and its frustrations, but it's just good to be here. Everyone's taking it pretty seriously, so we can try to stay on campus as long as possible.
And Alma, you said that you were an RA. Do you want to talk a little bit about what that's been like this semester?
Yeah, definitely. So as Tuck was saying, it's been weird. So being a senior, like I've been in like the dorms in LNF for a while, and I know it's always packed with people. Events are always happening, and as an RA, like we are always hosting and planning events. So this year, not being able to plan events and see my residents is really hard. But I've found ways to make events online, so that has been helping. Yeah.
Nice.
And are you guys allowed to go into the dining halls at all, or what's that system like?
Yeah, so people can go in. I think people can sit down and eat. I've not been in dining halls for a while, so I don't know, but I think people can't really socialize there a lot. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah.
Yeah, the dining halls have been easier than expected, at least for me. Food situation is pretty similar. The dining hall closes a little bit more frequently to do some cleanings and sanitize. The major difference is just where you're allowed to sit. There are stickers on the floor underneath certain chairs where you can sit down, and you just have to maintain some distance that's set up by the dining hall staff, which is not bad. You're still able to eat with your friends. The food's still good. That's all I have.
That's good to hear. I was worried about what that situation has been like. I gotta be honest. I think another question alumni had, I mean, more generally, was just how different organizations were handling going virtual. And like we said in our introductions, we all come from many different areas on campus. So if we wanted to talk a little bit about that, Speaking for Sophie and I and SAA, we're honestly looking forward to doing more virtual events. Although we can't be ambassadors at in-person alumni events like we have been in years past, we're looking at this situation as an opportunity to reach out to alumni, not just in the Burlington area. At this point, I think most people are used to Microsoft Teams and Zoom, and we're hoping to do a lot more virtual events in this upcoming semester. And in terms of being a supplemental instructor, office hours online is fantastic because I can help students from my bedroom and not have to walk all over campus to tutor and attend classes. So I'm honestly liking being a supplemental instructor virtually a lot better than an in-person supplemental instructor.
So I'm involved in admissions. When we are operating fully in person, we obviously get to give tours, and we have not been able to resume in-person tours yet, which is a little bit of a bummer because I do love giving tours. I love getting to explore campus and lead people through and watch people's eyes light up as they get to experience campus for the first time. But one of the best things about going virtual is that we've actually been able to expand our reach. So for example, if you have a student that's growing up in California, they might be really interested in UVM, but they might not be able to fly out to Burlington and check it out for the first time. And so we've really expanded over the course of the summer, and we're continuing it this semester to expanding all of our different virtual options. So we hold virtual info sessions multiple times a week. We have a virtual tour set up online. One thing that I was doing this summer was helping to expand our YouTube library, just creating a lot of different ways so that students can know what it's like to be a part of UVM, no matter where they're coming from. And so we've actually been able to reach more students than ever, which is really exciting.
That's awesome. So I'm involved in Delta Delta sorority, and our recruitment happens like Panhandle wide. So for those of you unfamiliar, recruitment lasts a few days, and it's usually in person in the Davis Center, but this year it was all online. And let me just say, I am so impressed by people's technology skills. You'd have breakout rooms, and all of a sudden you were talking to like a new member, and you were switching all around, but it was actually super easy, and we were able to like speak with all the potential new members. Everything went super smoothly, and I was a little bit worried going into it, but it was really nice to also do it from the comfort of my room. But like moving forward, like past recruitment, like right after this, we have like chapter Zooms each week, and are looking at different ways to like engage and have like book clubs, movie clubs, all remotely and virtually, to still kind of stay connected and look out for each other, but also staying responsible and kind of relying on those virtual components.
So I'm on the Interfraternity Council. I'm the VP of recruitment. So I actually have to deal with all the new freshmen and sophomore kids who want to join a fraternity. Initially, we used to have these things called pre-orientation sessions where they would have to attend something at Davis Center, basically talking about what a fraternity is, what to look out for, proper rush, improper rush, things to kind of avoid, and kind of the regulations when it comes to you showing up to a rush event. It's a lot more informal than sororities, so you don't actually have to go to ones that you don't want to. Now that everything's going on, all the chapters have had to go basically virtual. We had to have all the kids who were interested in doing rush go to their pre-orientation on Zoom, and then all the chapters have had to come up with their own dates and times for them to actually invite kids to join them on Zoom and kind of chat.
For the finance club, it's kind of similar. We're taking it one step at a time and trying to figure out what we're actually capable of doing. Typically, there's a Boston trip to go visit companies and get a feel for the business world a little bit more, and we're not sure if that's going to be possible yet. Still feeling that out, but in the meantime, just meeting online, being as social as possible through the internet.
For SEEK within the Honors College, our main focus is on equity and diversity, which is obviously very prevalent right now and something on everyone's mind. So we've been continuing some of our more long-term projects about admissions and curriculum and retention in the Honors College, but we've just been doing everything remotely through Teams, so just meeting like we normally would. And then we're still hoping to be able to hold affinity spaces and different events, but they'll probably be either physically distanced if we have the right weather for a tent outside, or online, like many things are. And then for SAC in the athletic department, it's been the same as we normally would with meetings, just everything online. We've done our elections for different vice president positions remotely as well. And then it's actually given us a lot more flexibility because we've allowed people to kind of create their own little subcommittees so that each area that we would normally focus on can have some time to like meet on Zoom or have a group chat going on their own. So it's actually been pretty productive for us over in the athletics department.
Yeah, and for UVM program board as well, we have been, our events are mostly in person, but now that due to COVID, we have switched it over into Teams. So most events are happening virtually. So we are still hoping that this might die down and like we might be able to host events that is happening on campus or in person. So yeah.
Sweet. So before we go, I know that we've talked a lot about the challenges of this semester, but what are some opportunities or upsides to all of these changes in your learning and social environment, or like silver linings to like the new kind of campus life on UVM? Like I'll start. So I don't really like the cold too much, but I am absolutely thrilled to have to wear my mask just as like a facial covering to keep me warm. So like that's nice, but also like, I don't know, connecting with people in new ways. I'm super excited for reaching out to alumni in new ways. So if you're watching this wherever you are, let us know if you have any ideas. But yeah, it's kind of made you really value the connections in your life.
One of the silver linings of going virtual for my schedule this semester was I signed up for a watercolor course, and in years past, I guess it's always been inside, but now we're outside and we get to go to any spot on campus and set up for our class period, and we get to paint outside, which has been really fun. Something else that I never really got to see in years past was like an inside look into what my friends were studying. But now that we're all home over half the time taking classes basically together, I get a chance to sit into some of my friends' classes that I wouldn't have sat in if they were in person. So it's been really fun for sure.
For me, I really appreciate, especially because the majority of my classes are online, that I get to have a lot of more flexibility around my house, and also just things outside of classes in terms of my schedule, because I don't have to spend as much time walking to campus or to classes. It means there's more time in my schedule to go outside and do the things that I really love to do. And also just being home during classes. I recently adopted my family's cat, and so she's around. She's actually snoring on the bed behind me right now. And so if I'm not required to have my camera on during one of my classes, I'll sometimes just go sit on my bed and pet her while I listen to the professor. And so I like having that in my classroom.
I think if I were to have a silver lining, it would be a lot of basically online networking. At least in the business school, I've recently, in the last 3 weeks of having classes, I've made like maybe 150 connections on LinkedIn, just of kids who I've had classes with who will be like, add me if they see my name on like 282 investment club or investment class. And the next thing you know, I'll get a DM saying, hey, how are you doing with this homework? I'm having trouble reaching the teacher. And I feel like a lot of people are kind of rallying behind not actually being in class and not being able to actually have that kind of physical connection. So people are reaching out in different ways than you normally would.
I think my favorite upside of a little bit more social distancing is just more time to be outside and also being forced to kind of socially gather outside. In the past, it was really challenging to convince people to, miss some social event to go on a hike or on a fishing trip. But it's a lot easier this year, and it's forcing people to get outside, and it's made it really fun to share things I love to do with people and not feel like I'm missing out on something back on campus all the time.
I have to say that our early morning practice for the team used to be pretty tough, but now I think most of us are just excited to be there in the first place. So waking up is not kind of something that we dread anymore. We're like pretty excited to get out the door and go. But I think the best part has been knowing that senior year kind of flies by and being, kind of like worried about missing out on time with your friends maybe because of classes. But now that we're all living together all the time, I'm really getting a chance to like spend some quality time with people that I really love before we sort of part ways. So that's been really meaningful. And I think we're all actually really grateful for that kind of like unexpected opportunity.
Yeah, so I think mine is definitely being able to have the time to practice self-care and to take naps. Because like life was going too fast last year, and I think this year I've been able to appreciate being able to just sleep and just think and like process life as a senior and like the college life. So I think, just being able to understand that this is gonna go, like this is gonna pass, I'm gonna find a job, I'm gonna make money, I'm gonna pay off these loans is very therapeutic to me. So I think just being able to practice self-care.
For me, the best part has been how the pods are set up for our team. The pod that I'm in is pretty much all freshmen. And so for workouts in the mornings, like there's no chance for us to kind of hide and try to like fit in with the seniors and stuff and let them stand out. Like it's, us again, like competing against all of our classmates. And so like first week, we're all just still getting to know each other, but we're competing with each other straight away. And I think that's built some like pretty good friendships to start out. And I don't know if it would be that way if we weren't in the situation we were in. So it's pretty cool that we're doing that.
Awesome. Well, I think we're going to come to a close here. Thank you to all of our students taking time out of our very busy lives and involvements on campus. Thank you, alumni, and whoever else might be watching this for tuning in. Yeah, I guess we'll see you around with our masks on, socially distanced. All right, bye, everyone.